this evening. We're not going to be here. It was a conflict of both work schedules for a number of them, and also dance theater has begun. So I believe the auditions have started last week, and they are going to get very active in that. I would like to ask a request of our veteran board members, and that is to bring your artwork back that you received last year for our Youth Art Month, so that they can take advantage of the framing, etc. So if you would get those back to Mrs. Miller, please, that would be very helpful. Also, I'd like to add, I'd like to share the feedback from SPAC last night on our Open Campus project. This was the second time that we had discussion at SPAC this year on that. In addition to the discussion we had with our key communicators and the discussion we had at our community forum that was held in October, as well as the column I wrote, including information about that in the fall issue of the Hempfield Suburban News. So, as I shared last night, the presentation with our SPAC members, and those included representatives from elementary schools, middle schools, and the high school, there was nothing but positive excitement about it. People felt that this is offering wonderful opportunity to our kids. They believe that it is on the cutting edge, and they say a number of the parents spoke about how their kids are communicating with each other differently, and I shared with them as well. There is brain research out there showing that our kids today their brains actually work differently because they are growing up in a digital age compared to those of us. I'll just put myself in that category as one of the older folks sitting around the table who did not grow up with cell devices, that we work a little bit differently than they do. I've had a number of parents contact me and say they're just sorry that their kids are in their later years of high school and are not going to be able to take advantage of this as they're graduating. And we have received tremendous positive comment from our students who feel that this is wonderful, that it's going to open up some real flexibility to them. We have all of our lawmakers that have been very positive. They have suggested to us anything they can do to help us. And I think the most interesting thing came about last week that we stumbled on. So Jeff, I'm going to ask you if you put this up, please. This was actually a blog from the friends and family of the Philadelphia School District. So they had a lot of the best and worst in education of 2011. So if you'll scroll down, Jeff. That's okay. Right there. Best innovative effort in education, the open campus plan by Penn Manor, Hempfield, and Manhattan Township's high schools. And they write, the most fascinating effort to rethink education came from GASP, 3 traditional school districts in the Lancaster area, which recently announced an effort to pool resources and create an open campus where high school students could take classes online and have flexible scheduling. The plan was designed to save jobs and was driven by the belief that district teachers can deliver a better education program than anything by a cyber charter school. I love their editorial comment that Philadelphia's education delegation, apparently there's a huge delegation from Philadelphia schools who are going to Denver, Colorado to learn about how to do education better, and particularly innovation, that they should be heading to Lancaster, not Denver, for real ideas on how to engage in vision of educational delivery. So this is picking up quite a bit of steam. We are hearing from people all over the state, and I just heard just last week that this was discussed at an Educational Policy Council with the Senate Education Committee chair there, as well as a technology person for PBE. So they're very much anxious to work with us, and we are going to be excited about where we go from here. So there will continue to be more board updates on this. As we get more information, we will share it with you. Obviously, right now, for every answer we figure out, there are 15 more questions developed, as this is not being done anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania. So we are literally creating the wheel, so to speak. But we're very excited about what this is going to offer. And with just about no exceptions, one exception, we've gotten nothing but positive feedback. So we're very pleased and excited about what's going to happen there. Also, I'd just like to speak to one of the items under other action items, D6. And this is to have the high school graduation to be set at Franklin and Marshall p.m. And I want to share a little bit of information here. Typically, we had started our high school graduations the last few years at 6 o'clock. And the reason for starting them at 6 o'clock originally had been because the high school used to include senior awards with graduation. That no longer is taking place because we have separate senior awards. And our high school administration had done some research, number one, into what other high schools were doing. And number two, having moved it to Franklin and Marshall last year, we had gotten feedback from parents and from other family members that were attending, as well as staff members, that the traffic at that time coming down either the bypass or Harrisburg Pike was pretty significant. So everybody felt that because we move our graduation along pretty quickly, I mean, it's really amazing. We get that class through and all the speeches in about an hour and a half, that by setting it at 7 o'clock, it would give folks an easier time getting to graduation, and also that it still would not provide for a late night. So I just wanted to share that and make you aware of that. No, Penn Manor does. McCaskey uses the convention center at the Marriott. I'm not sure exactly on that one. I did not get specifics on every single district. We can get that if you want.
No.
I think it'll make it a little less chaotic because people were very frustrated trying to get down here last year. Right? And we actually had one bus of students that went the wrong route, and then they ended up getting stuck in traffic, and everybody's looking around waiting to see, where are those students before we can start the commencement. But thankfully, it all worked out. Most importantly, January is School Director Recognition Month, set by the state. And there's some interesting facts that I have been aware of. There are 4,500 school directors who serve Pennsylvania's 500 public school district, and all boards have 9 members. This is not true, by the way, of other states. Many states do not have 9 members. Some have a set number of members, and some may vary by district to district, depending on the size of the district. School director elections in this state are held every 2 years on 5-4 rotation to ensure continuity, with the exception of someone who is filling somebody else's term, a term as Mr. Smiley is. All board members are elected to basically 4-year terms. School directors are elected locally. However, the state constitution delegates to them the responsibility to administer the school system as agents of the General Assembly. All serve as volunteers without pay. So I know we certainly appreciate all of the time and energy that you put into your work, and for the audience, this goes far beyond the 2 public meetings you see them at twice a month. 54% of all districts involve students at their local board meetings, and I'm proud that we're one of those. And Pennsylvania school directors continue to keep adequate school funding at the top of the list of the most important educational concerns facing public schools. So, whereas the role of locally elected school officials has served the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and local communities in meeting the needs of public education since the passage of the Free School Act in 1834, and whereas these local boards have discharged their responsibilities to public education in a manner which has placed public education in the forefront of our educational systems, and whereas locally elected officials have distinguished themselves and their communities in this non-paid volunteer public service commitment, and whereas the contributions of these men and women should be recognized and appreciated by those who benefit from the workings of our public school system, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Pennsylvania School Boards Association hereby proclaims the month of January as School Director Recognition Month in this Commonwealth, and further resolve that this proclamation be communicated to all school districts, school officials, and local communities in a planned program which brings visibility and awareness of the role of locally elected school officials to the citizenry of this Commonwealth. So on behalf of myself, our team, our district staff, and our community, I want to thank each and every one of you. Being a school director today is harder than it has ever been. Everybody knows how to do your job better. We're facing fiscal and political challenges that are unprecedented in these days. And you come to this not with a single agenda, but with an agenda of doing well by our students and doing well by our community. So on behalf of all of us, there's a certificate at your place and a very small token of our appreciation. And again, we thank you so much for all you do. No one will ever know unless they sit in the seat how many, many hours you put into this position. So we just want you to know that we appreciate it.